Hello there. Today I have a whole load of film recommendations for you because it happens to be Black Friday, and you know what that means. It's time to spend an ungodly amount of money on films that we can't really afford to do, but hey, it makes us feel good and it gives us a bit of a dopamine rush. And there just so happens to be a sale on a whole load of Radiance Films Blu-rays. The promotion they're running is 4 discs for £40, which is quite frankly a steal, given the track record Radiance have had in their very first year of being a boutique Blu-ray label. If you haven't heard me gush about how good they are on this channel, trust me, they are doing some of the finest work in the whole industry, and I can't recommend them enough. So let's get into it. First of all, Miami Blues. This is a brilliant neo-noir style movie in which Alec Baldwin plays this sociopathic criminal. He's kind of a despicable character to watch, but it's expertly written, produced by the one Jonathan Demme, and it uses a number of his regular collaborators on this film. It's just a great, entertaining film. There's not really much more to say other than that. The Radiance disc comes stacked with special features, and you can actually get this limited edition in the promotion at the moment. That means that you'll get the booklet that comes inside, and all of the limited editions have the Scanavo case. So it's an absolute steal. If I didn't already have it, I would be buying it. So I strongly recommend this one to you. Going back to the 1970s and to Japan, we have Kinji Fukasaku's Yakuza Graveyard. If you're not familiar with Fukasaku or his films, then you're in for a real treat if you like violence and gangsters and cop movies. He really is like the godfather of the Yakuza movie. He's made so many great films, and I'm happy to say this is one of them. This was a real discovery for me from Radiance, because I knew Fukasaku from his Battles series of films. There are tons of great special features on the disc, and again, the limited edition is in the sale, so you can get this with the booklet and the nice cover, everything else. Oh, and the disc happens to be Region A and Region B, so no matter where you are, unless you're Region C, which is not too common these days, you should be able to play this. Then I have to recommend Thieves Like Us, the film from Robert Altman, one of the finest American filmmakers, if you ask me. What you would think is some kind of bank heist gangster film from this front cover is actually more of a love story, and a story about someone trying to find their way in life and avoid a life of crime, even when it is so enticing. In typical Altman fashion, you get such believable performances due to the way that he would make these films. In many of his films, he would famously set the scene, but then he would let the camera wander around, he would let the actors improvise, and then he would just use the best material that he happened to film. And it really gives the film such a unique life, and it's his signature style of directing which makes his films feel so special. Just like before, the limited edition is in this offer, so £10, and you get the booklet and all of the great special features on the disc, and a brilliant film, a really good film. Now taking a trip to France, we have Filler Up with Super. This was another discovery via Radiance for me, and I absolutely loved this film. I've had some lengthy discussions with some of my friends about this film, about the nature of the characters in the story. These 4 guys end up going on this road trip, and it's along the way that they discover things about each other and their living situations and their relationships. And a lot of people have said that these characters are really unlikable. That's because they happen to show a lot of the facets of masculinity, many of them which we would consider negative. But I think that's what gives this film such a grounded realism. It also helped that in the production of this, they had a lengthy rehearsal period where they could develop the characters and the script, and sure, some aspects of these characters make them unlikable. But I think that is what men have to wrestle with to fight the masculine urges. Maybe I'm not making a lot of sense right now, but this film really struck a chord with me, and I just think it's great. And I thank Radiance for introducing this one to me, because I'm not sure when I would have come across it if it weren't for them. I repeat myself when I say great special features, the limited edition is in the sale, so I highly recommend this one. Now let's talk about She Dies Tomorrow. I'm actually about to recommend you a film that I do not like, which might sound a bit perverse, a bit strange, but hear me out here. She Dies Tomorrow was released 3 years ago, and it's a film about this young woman who experiences this feeling of impending doom. She feels as if she is literally going to die tomorrow. And all of the anxieties and dread around this are explored through the filmmaking. Directed by Amy Seimetz, who is no stranger to American independent filmmaking, the film really does get to the heart of the issue. And that is why I don't like the film. It made me very uncomfortable and it made me very anxious. And perhaps that's a sign that it's a very well-made film. I just can't shake the fact that it didn't make me feel good, because unfortunately I can relate very strongly to some of the aspects of this film. In my own life, I struggle with irrational feelings, such as the ones that are presented in this film. And even though I can tell myself that I'm not going to die tomorrow, I can't shake it. So yeah, not to get too personal on you guys, because this is a celebration of films being on sale, but this was a very difficult film for me to watch. So why do I recommend it? Well, obviously, if you're like me and you think you might have the same reaction, do not get this film. However, I know some people get a real feeling of catharsis from watching this type of film. And I think if you're that kind of person, then I strongly recommend this, especially on the Radiance disc, because of all the extra context you get around how the film was made. Again, the limited edition is in the sale, so for just £10, I strongly recommend it if you're not someone who is like me. And then we come to Married to the Mob, the Jonathan Demme movie. You might be thinking that this doesn't look like those other Radiance films because it has this slipcover on it and it has a different design. Well, you're right. This is one of the partner labels that Radiance has been working with, Fun City Editions. The idea behind the partner label relationship is Radiance is able to distribute films in the UK from smaller US labels. And this happens to be one of them, and you can still get the limited edition slipcover version in the sale directly on Radiance's website. This is a very fun, charming look at living within a gangster family. All of the performances are stellar, but I particularly love Michelle Pfeiffer's one in this film. A lot of people know Jonathan Demme mainly from making Silence of the Lambs, but he actually has this extensive filmography of films where he's able to develop such realistic characters and make all of his worlds feel lived in. And just like his film Something Wild, Married to the Mob does that so successfully. And I think it's a film that more people need to check out. So you can add the Fun City Editions version of Married to the Mob to your Radiant sale order, and you can get it for £10. I should also say that as well as recommending you these films, I've also seen that Radiance are doing a thing where if you order directly on their website and you get in touch with them via social media and give them your order number, you'll be entered into the chance to get a £20 refund. So on top of the sale prices, you might end up getting these a lot cheaper. So do go and support Radiance. Go over to their website, get some great Blu-rays at some great prices. And I think there's a lot to be enjoyed here. If you'd like some further Radiance recommendations from me, click the video on screen right now. It's one of my recent collection updates where I went through all of the Radiance releases during the month of October, and there's some great stuff in there. With that said, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.